don't have to be the engineering leader of a company or of a product or of a team before you can be the leader of your organization. You have to understand the opportunity to improve. I know that no matter what happens, sometimes we work in organizations where policies change, and then sometimes the line manager might be introducing something new, or there might be a switch in management. The line manager might quit today, and then there might be another line manager that will oversee your affairs. As an agile leader, you're not resistant to change. You're flexible because every change brings the opportunity for you to improve. For example, now joy might be transferred for she's Igbo, but then she's going to lead mostly Yoruba women technically, right? So as somebody that is an agile leader, she will not be resistant to change because she has a flexible mindset. She knows that every change that happens is an opportunity for growth. It is not a threat. So as women that understand that, as women that want to take charge and own the tech space, we must have that flexible mindset. Whatever change that comes, it is our response to that change that either makes or mar us. So you have to think, this new change that is coming, would I see it? Would I see it as an opportunity to improve? Or would I just dwell in self pity and think that things will not work out? You have to think like an agile person. You have to be flexible and always view change as an opportunity. Another trait of an agile leader is the ability to empower team. I told you guys earlier, leadership is not patient or title. It's about example and action. Influencing others, inspiring others, impacting on others. So as an agile leader, as a female agile leader, you have to be able to treat others as creative, talented, and intelligent. If you're working in a team, we see as individuals, right? We have different behavioral dispositions. Some people are much more outspoken than other people. Some people are just calm, observant, but they think really faster. You have to be able to recognize and appreciate everybody's character or behavioral dispositions. See everybody on your team as worthwhile and important, despite the title that that person occupies. So as female agile leaders, we have to see people as creative, talented, and intelligent. Tap into understand that individuals are super important, and they're not machines or robots. They make the team work, right? They make the dream work. So you have to see people as valuable creators, valuable additions to whatever organization or goal that you're aspiring to achieve. And then finally, agile leaders have 7 leadership frameworks. As an agile leader, you mentor and you rely on inquiry. How can I help the team to do their best work? So I said earlier that if you're not already working in the tech space, you should know that when you move fully in the tech space, because I understand that I think somebody introduced herself as an entrepreneur. She does multiple businesses. Fantastic. And then that you're being here means that you really want to build a career in the tech space, right? When you go into this tech space, you realize that most of these companies utilize what I call Scrum. Scrum is an agile methodology or managing people. And one thing that Scrum teaches is the individual interaction. There is no title or leadership when it comes to Scrum. The person that assumes a position the position of an engineering lead is a servant leader, and a servant leader asks questions. A servant leader is very concerned about other people's opinion. A servant leader does not relent in getting feedback from people. In Scrum, we do something called retrospective. And retrospective is an activity that involves going back on what was done earlier and seeking new ways to improve. So in retrospective, we ask the question, what did we do beforehand? What was not done so well? How can we do it? How can we come back and improve on such process? So servant leader, you have to seek feedback. You have to want to know what people are thinking. Agile leadership is not a top-down, bottom approach. It's not a dictatorial management style. Instead, it's collaborative. You don't see people as subordinates. Never. Not like superiority and subordination when it comes to agile leadership. And even in the tech space, instead, it's collaboration. We're equals. We're all a team. Everybody's doing agile leadership. Right? I have a picture that will demonstrate this seven leadership and would understand. But I have these three traits at the back, and it's important. Leadership is where you are. It's who you are. It's not the position that you are. All right, guys, are we following? Am I speaking too fast?
We are following. So, guys are following because I'm loving this class already.
All right, thanks so much. All right, so move on to core values of an agile leader. Like I said earlier, this is like an iteration of what I was saying earlier. Right? So you have to be a servant leader. The secret to navigate your way to success is through service. How can you be of help to other people? Leadership thinks people first and not yourself. In leadership, in agile leadership, we use the word we, not I. It's not personal, it's collaborative. You think about the well-being of your team, of the group. So there's nothing like I and you. Instead, it is we. It's we. And then in this software engineering world, understand that nobody's an embodiment of knowledge. Sometimes you might be very, very skilled in designing products, UI, UX, but then there might just be someone that does not have so much experience joining your team, right? But there might be a blocker that you experience, or you challenge that you experience. And if that person that you think do not have a lot of experience, is that person that might have the secrets, to just unblocking you or solving your problem. So we always have to be willing and open to accommodate. Another value is humility. You have to be humble. You have to assess gaps, get help, seek feedback from people. Because you don't know everything. Right? So in your space, in your small spaces or large spaces, wherever you're working at, wherever you're aspiring to do, most people are not very humble when it comes to asking for help. And that's not what that's not who an agile leader is. An agile leader is very open to getting feedback and taking help because he or she understands that she does not know all. So you have to seek to get help. Another core value is flexibility, ability to adapt and respond to changes without losing velocity. Another one is empathy, understanding others' feelings, putting people first before you. Remember, in agile leadership, we don't use I, it's we. That is the language that we use. We, it's not about you, it's about the team. It's about the team's goal. Finally, learning. As women that want to imbibe the agile leadership skills and traits, you have to be passionate about learning, continuous learning. You have to look for new ways to work and potential new approaches to solving old or new problems. What worked yesterday for solving a problem in maybe iOS, or maybe solving a problem about Flutter or DevOps might not be the thing that would work in 2 months to come. In this tech space, things change rapidly. It's so volatile and complex. A programming language that might be really, really complex today, in the next 2 years might be redundant. That's how it works. So new trends are always emerging. There's an attitude that you have to keep yourself up to date. If you for someone like Cynthia that is studying iOS now, there's an iOS engineer. And my guess is maybe in like 3 years or 5 years, the iOS framework might reform or extend to something much more complex. And she has to learn new things. So as an agile leader, as a person that has gone through what the nitty-gritty of agile leadership, Cynthia will be able to readjust, unlearn old things that she understands about iOS, and then be able to adapt to maybe new forms of work or task. So it's an idea you have to have to be hungry for knowledge, seek to know more information. Right? All right, so we're going to the Agile Manifesto. And these are four values that guide Agile software development. Number one is individuals and interactions over confidence. So in Agile, we see individuals and interaction. We see individuals as human beings, not as machines or robots. And so we value teamwork, we value feedback, and we value human beings. Another one is working software over comprehensive documentation. Wherever you are, you have to understand that you have to satisfy the needs of your client. And at the end of the day, whatever software you're building, whatever product you're building, must work. We're not saying that comprehensive documentation is not important, but we value the things on them more than the things. Right? So your software must solve human problems. It must meet the needs of people. Another agile manifesto is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. As women in tech, as women tech leaders, we must understand that we must interact with our customers. Right? When a client brings a product, or a product owner brings the product that he or she wants us to build, we must collaborate. We must ask questions. Oh, why do you want this feature? What problem do you think this feature is building? Oh, your client will tell you that. Cynthia, I don't think that I want this. Joy, I don't think I want this feature. You, as a software engineer, you're a better position to give your client feedback or advice on why a particular feature. So you have to seek to collaborate with your customer or your client. Whenever you're building something, make your client or your customer a part of the development. That's what Agile is about. Right from the inception, or the start, or the development, or the requirements elicitation phase of building a product, our customers, the client, the product owners, the whole integrated form. And then finally, responding to change over following a plan. At the end of this presentation, after today ends, when you think about agile leadership, I want more things to come to your mind. That is change. That is change. And how do you respond to change? By being adaptable. Now, adaptability is one of the most important characteristics that a leader needs in this volatile, uncertain, complex, and really ambiguous time. Good leadership is not static. As women that understand the principles of agile leadership, understand that good leadership is not static. It evolves with time. As leaders, we must be able to create a vision and make plans to reach that goal. And as agile leaders, effective leaders, we always observe, we always reflect, and we always review for a better future. And that is the role of agilists. And with a positive attitude and the humility to continuously improve, a woman leader naturally strives to be better. You guys need to understand. Women are fantastic leaders. We just need women can lead. We just need a better strategy to showcase our skills and characteristics so that we can overcome the prejudice, we can overcome the bias one company at a time. And that's where agile comes in. Remember, we highlighted 3 core characteristics that are really associated with women. We talked about communication. Women are natural communicators, natural collaborators, and are natural as nurturing relationships. And this core traits is everything we need, everything that you need to really thrive in agile leadership. All right, so like I said earlier, agile team is not a top-down, bottom approach. It's not a tutorial. Instead, it is self-organized, right? And whatever, because there must be a captain that will steer a ship, right? Or like the traditional teams where somebody must take ownership or responsibility and then give commands or instructions. Whatever the lead or project manager says, that's what will happen. In an agile team, everybody is involved in decision making. Of course, there must be somebody that leads, somebody that has more experience, right? Just so that there will be no anarchy or chaos. But at the end of the day, the teams must work together. In an agile team, there is no I. It is collaborating. It is collaborative and all of. So I'm going to end with this quote, right? Agile is an attitude. It's not a technique with bound. An attitude has no bound. So we would not ask, can I use agile here? But rather we would ask ourselves, how would I act in the agile way? Or how can we? Or how agile can we? I know that I'm talking to people that might not already have jobs in the tech space, or people that are aspiring to be technical in the tech space. So you have to understand that agile is an attitude. Just like somebody like that, like Cynthia, that is a natural speaker. A behavioral disposition is attributed to being able to interact with people, talking, smiling. That's the same way that agile is. Agile is not a technique, it's an attitude. You have to imbibe skill. You have to be a servant leader. You have to be humble. You have to seek feedback. You have to be able to empower others. So it's an attitude that you must embody. It's an attitude that you must reflect on. It's an attitude that you must exude. So when you hear agile leadership, think about adaptability to change, resistance to change. Think about the fact that humility must play a key role. Think about the fact that there must be continuous and progressive learning. You must always seek to learn. You can never get tired of learning. Then finally, think about servant leadership, power of we that goes to I. So that is the end of this presentation. I don't know if we have questions or concerns. Now would be a good time to share. If you have questions, just please let me know. All right, so I think we have questions in the chat box. Cynthia, can you coordinate it? I'm sorry, I don't think that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Maomi, for that wonderful presentation. Really, was inspiring, and I loved everything you said. I took down notes and like leadership. That's all what you've always taught, and the enthusiasm and the energy bring when you're talking. I love that. And I know that everybody enjoys this part. Okay, when you think about agile leadership, think of flexibility. And I love the part that you don't necessarily have to be an actual leader, have a position in your company to be able to act like a leader or show that quality of leadership that you have. Anywhere you find yourself, it could be in the church, it could be in your business, anywhere you find yourself, just it should be something that comes to you naturally. It shouldn't be something you force. Yeah, we have to keep learning until it becomes course. Okay? Keep learning, adapt to change, and be a servant leader and be humble. I love that. Thank you, Omaomi. We really love your class. Please, if there's any questions, please, she's open to answer your questions, okay?
All right, so Cynthia, I can see that Obina says, is it advisable to learn Scrum practices?
Yeah. Obina asked a question. Yes.
Akilesh did justice to that question. So yes, I think that Scrum is an agile framework. So like Akilesh said, there's Kanban, there's extreme programming, right? These are types of methodology under agile, right? Even though Scrum is usually widely practiced. I would say that yes, you have to learn Scrum practice before getting to tech, even widely tech. Just expose yourself to learning what tech is about. And Scrum is very, very practical. To a large extent, Scrum. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. To a large extent, Scrum helps you reflect, go back to the drawing board and improve on things that were not already working, right? And then those individual routines can level up, and come back better. So if you had to learn Scrum practice to get tech, 100% please do. And even while you're in tech, not just learning it, also imbibe the practice and also act. So I think that's it. Thank you so much, Akilesh.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Achilles. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for joining in. So this is time to ask for our power panels, okay? Questions and yes. So we'll be getting answers from our power panels, what they think, especially women in tech and how we should see all of this, I want to ask uh, also she with us.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can hear you.
Okay, not so. Yeah. So from all that we've been saying here, what do you think? Do you think women need to act like men to be successful? To be successful in tech?
Um, the answer is no and yes. Why I say yes, we see men as people who are powerful. We ought to exhibit that characteristics, not like being so mannish, but we just have to work hard. Yeah, just work hard and work smart. So we don't need to act like a man to be in leadership. No, it's not a power to do something. It's something you use smartness, hard work, teamwork, and all sort of that to do. So it's not a manpower something.
Okay, thank you. I know I did not introduce because she introduced herself before, but for people that joined us later, she is a programmer. She has different skills. She's also into business, but she's majorly a programmer, and she has worked with embedded systems and designing and fabrication and all that. So we are happy to have you, Chinon. So thank you for that wonderful um, answer to that question. So
Thank you very
women,
much.
yes. So women, you don't necessarily need to act like a man. Okay, you have your qualities, just like have your quality. We all have our communication skills, our collaboration, and all that put together. Yes, we need that assertiveness, but you don't have to change your nature to be like a man to be able to do well in tech. So, which leads us to the next question. The next question I have here is I'll be throwing this question to Esther. Esther is also one of our power panel. Yeah. And she's a product designer. Do we have Esther on this call? Esther, please, if you're here, you can indicate, okay?
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Okay, we are happy to have you here. Esther, so
Wait.
what will be the biggest challenge the next generation of women, and how can we be a strong role model to them? What do you think?
Come again.
Okay, sorry, my question, let me take it slow at this time. What will be the biggest challenge for the next generation of women, especially, and how are we going to be to do better to become a better role model to them? Role models, yeah.
In the tech space,
Yes.
how do I enter this?
Okay. While she while she's thinking of that, okay, I would go to Olivia. Do I have Olivia on this call? Chinea Olivia.
Yes, I'm on the call.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. Olivia is a social impact storyteller, a social entrepreneur, with a building chemical engineer, and an advocate for youth empowerment. Okay, Olivia she has started an inclusive community for youth called Gems on Earth, right? And she has trained more than 1,700 people in storytelling and podcasting in agriculture, LinkedIn optimization, and all that. So she did in Futo, Federal University of Technology, Owerri. We are happy to have you here, Olivia. Okay, you're welcome. So, your question is how Okay, what advice do you have for women who are in the field of technology experiencing imposter syndrome?
Okay. Okay, so first of all, we know that imposter syndrome has to do with, you're doubting yourself. You feel that you are a fraud, or you're not good enough to be in the tech space, or in any space at all, but specifically in tech, because we see that we have few women in tech and a lot of men. So the tendency to feel that, oh my god, I'm not enough, or maybe guys are doing better, or achieving more, it's definitely going to be there, because it feels like you don't have a lot of people like you in this space. um but the first thing is to understand that the fact that you're in this space, or the fact that you were able to get um, a particular role in a company or in a project, means that they actually think that you're good enough. They actually value your skills. So it means that you are as good as any other of your male counterparts in that space. So first of all, understanding that you deserve to be in this space, and just building your confidence around that, and just keeping it real, because it's easy to just say build your confidence in this space. I think it will also help to surround yourself with a community of females in tech like yourself. It will help a lot to build confidence, just like the She Code Owerri community, where there are females in this community, in this group, that are interested in tech, that are experienced in tech. So once in a while, when you feel your achievements are not good enough, or you feel that you're not worthy of being in the tech space, communicating with um, like minds in the same community, sharing your thoughts, listening to other people's achievements, their struggles, and how they've been able to overcome certain challenges in their workspace will go a long way to strengthen your resolve about yourself and help you grow in confidence. Um, then one last thing I would just say about imposter syndrome, since imposter syndrome comes from the fact of you're doubting yourself, you think you're a fraud, you think that, oh, maybe I just got into the tech space because this company is just trying to empower females to join tech. Maybe I'm not really worthy. They just wanted females to join tech.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that mindset is definitely going to be there, but it's just to understand that you should also be open, to keep learning, to celebrate your small wins, no matter how little, to celebrate your small wins in achieving the littlest of tasks in your projects, in your company. It will go a long way to build that confidence, to help you really understand that you're here not because this company wants more females in the tech, or there was this scholarship, but you're here because you deserve to be here, and you're as awesome as any other male counterpart or any other females in the technology space. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Olivia, for that wonderful contribution and answer to that question. Okay, Chino, so do you have anything to add to that particular question of imposter syndrome for women? Chino,
Nothing much. She has said it all. I can only encourage our women to like have self-confidence. No matter what you're going to do, don't be afraid of failure, because when you fail, you learn, and
Yeah.
from your mistakes, you become better. So stop seeing yourself as inferior. Do not let low self-esteem take the better part of you. um just try your best to focus on one thing and be master of that thing.
okay, thank you so much, Chinoso, for that contribution. So I have Rina Emato on this call, right? Rina, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. You're welcome. You're welcome. So, he's a data scientist, yeah, and he's currently working with Microsoft. We are happy to have you here, Rina. Okay. So, do you have any contribution to the imposter syndrome? Yeah, I know you're the male among females here, right? So, give us your contribution here.
Yeah, really, it's all about you believing in yourself, right? I'm an advocate of self-belief, right? Because I've got the opportunity to like mentor and teach a lot of women. Prior to me joining Microsoft, I was a facilitator for Tech for Dev. At Tech for Dev, what I do is I help them facilitate the data science track, where I got the opportunity to teach or mentor up to 300 or 500 ladies that ventured into building their career around data science. So when I was interacting with this lady, right, one thing was common among them. That is that self belief. Because if you don't believe in yourself, that is why you tend to have that imposter syndrome. Because you believe that you can't do it. You believe that probably there is someone out there doing it better than you. I think the first thing you should like conquer is yourself. Once you're able to conquer yourself, you'll be able to conquer any other thing. So my advice would just be believe in yourself, no matter how small you started, because everybody we all started by learning HTML, right? We started small. We all
Yeah.
started small. And in tech, there is nothing too small. Every skill, every knowledge is very, very valuable because they all come together to build on one particular thing. So I would just say believe in yourself, trust yourself, believe and trust yourself that you can do it. No matter how small you're able to contribute now, but packing up those knowledge helps you build that capacity that you need to use in order to build on a greater venture or bigger project or thereabouts.
Thank you so much, Rina. Thank you. That was wonderful contribution. Okay, Chinonso, I have another question, and I believe all ladies have this question. So we would want to hear from women too in tech, especially those that are just joining this community. So how can you get your inner voice out? How do you get and to avoid all this negative self-talk? How do you put yourself out there without the negative self-talk?
Well, it's common when you first join a community or when you first join a career path, it's common to get negative inner talks. Then how you get over it is by identifying with those in that community. If you are kind of timid person who also can anybody hear me? Yeah. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. But I lost you for a little while, but you're back now.
Hello.
I can hear you. Others, can you hear
Okay,
her,
okay.
please?
So the first thing you have to do is identify with those in that community. Try to look out for your strengths and weakness, and then join teams who can inspire you to become better. By so doing, they're going to bring out the best in you. Then, most importantly, when you're in that community, try as much as you can to volunteer in some things you think you can do. Maybe where your strengths are, you just try to volunteer, participate in those volunteering roles. This is going to help build you very, very well. And then it builds your esteem, your confidence, and then it makes you to grow in that career path you have chosen. Then another thing is try to help people with the little you've learned, because when you learn from that community, you try to give back to the community. And how do you do that? For instance, if you know a particular skill, maybe you just got to know it, the best way to make it retain
in your memory and practice it always is by transferring that same knowledge to the next person, maybe the newbies in the community. You try to coach them. By so doing, you're already conquering that negative thoughts, and you see yourself growing in the community and that kind of part. Thank you.
So, Olivia, what option do you have to that? Olivia, you're still with us, right? Did we lose Olivia already? Okay, winner. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes,
I can hear you.
Please. Okay, thank you. Please, winner, do you have any contribution to what Nonso answered about the how to get your inner voice out without negative self-talk?
Yeah, there is this saying, you don't have to be great to start, right? You have to start to be great, right? So it's all about you starting, because now I think most of us are within community. We can attest to the fact that we got this much visibility because we try to make sure that wherever we see lacking, wherever we see a gap, we try to fill it, right? In terms of uh, going for community meetings, engaging, trying to network, trying to talk to people. So I believe if you want to if you want to make your voice heard, first of all, you need to like put yourself out there. We have all these local community meetups and meetings, both happening physical and online. You could start by volunteering to be a core member, right? Because being a core member, you'll be assigned some tasks that will require you to like meet a lot of people, connect with a lot of people. You can also start by submitting a talk based on your learnings, right? Maybe you've been learning HTML for a while now. You decide to, okay, put yourself out there by saying, okay, I would like to talk about this particular topic on HTML. Basically, if you're able to state your case, you will get the chance to like communicate with a lot of people. Now, nobody is an island of knowledge, and nobody expects you to know it all. But you being able to like communicate your idea actually helps you to do this thing. Actually helps you to learn more. And there is also this approach that I love taking, which is like teaching. Why I love teaching and why I see teaching as a very powerful tool is that whatever you learn, be small or big, if you're able to like teach it to one or two persons, it sinks more in you. You get to like find more power in it, and that also helps you create that visibility. You are like marketing yourself because now two people know that you are perfect in this. Even if you are not like perfect in it, two people know that you have knowledge of this. So anytime they are in a situation, there is a scenario that requires someone with such kind of knowledge, you will be the first person that they will reach out to, right? So it's all about starting, right? It's all about starting. So start small, volunteering, teaching, engaging, talking, whichever one works for you best. You just have to like start.
Thank you so much, Rina. You just rounded everything up. And okay, actually, Shama is saying you can see the comment section. He said he strongly agrees with Rina. It's so important to share the knowledge you possess with others. Sharing is caring, and that's true. That's wonderful. Thank you so much for that contribution. Okay. So moving along to Omar. Omar, you're still on this call, right? Esther Omar. Omar, are you here? I think we lost her.
Yeah, her network is not strong, so she will join soon.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's go. Let's get back to this. Okay, Chino, so I'm going to ask you this.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, fine. How did you get into tech in the first place? How did you get into tech? We want to hear. Yes.
Well, I'll make the story very brief. It's a passion, and you know the Nigerian system. You'll be targeting this, they will give you that. But I didn't let that flame of fire to go off. I wanted to study computer engineering, and I found myself in agric engineering. So I managed to
Wow.
pull through
I can't
the 5
totally relate.
years. But my mind was still there because I knew what I was paying for. So after school, I had to start learning programming. I even forgot everything about NYSC. I focused um, in learning programming. And you know, Owerri, everything in Owerri is struggling. So the ecosystem is not wide enough to put it out and all of that. So I started associating little by little. At some point, I wanted to give up because it was becoming stressful. That wasn't what I planned. But people like Joy, Winner, Augusta, Goziem, Gospel, and a lot of them, even you, Cynthia, I met along the line. They became an inspiration.
Nonto, are you done? Hello, are you still there? I
To
think
me.
I met
So
some.
I kept grinding till I get it. So that was how I'm with you. That was how I got here today. So you can imagine you applied for nursing, they gave you the English language, and you still didn't let the passion to die off. I continued.
Wow. Thank you so much, Chinonso. So I have Adenike on this call, right? Adenike?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, please, can you throw more light on what Chinonso said? How did you get into, okay, we want to hear your own personal story. How did you get into tech and how have you been? Like, how has the journey been so far?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So my journey into tech, I would say, wasn't particularly straightforward. So back then when I was in school, I had friends who were programmers, like real close friends, but it just never occurred to me that I could actually do something like that. Maybe because they're all guys, so I just didn't see myself doing it. I thought I was maybe more for entrepreneurship or something like that. So fast forward to a few years after, I left school. Then I got an internship where my job was primarily I was dealing with a lot of data. So I was dealing with data. Then I got to experience some systems. So like okay, so I was practically working with some computer systems, some software, working with data, and that piqued my interest. I was like, okay, this is something that I could, venture into.
Yeah.
So then I got another opportunity to, after the internship, I went for service. And after service, I got an opportunity to, so at that point, I was interested in like learning about management information systems. So I got an opportunity to learn that, another internship. So when I started that, I was working with programmers. I was working with, it was a big tech space. There were QA guys, there were UI UX guys, there were data scientists. I was like, okay, this looks like, because I was into it already. I was relating with people. I could see what we're building. So then that what made me decide, okay, yeah, fascinated me, made me decide to pick it up. I could actually do this, and the rest is history. That was my journey. It was really straightforward. So what actually helped me was having an experience of it, seeing people do it, being in the thick of it. And I think, so I feel like maybe when I was in school then, if I had more female role models, who were actually doing that. I knew girls who were doing that. Maybe I would have decided to pick it up earlier. But yeah, so I feel like as women, one thing that we might be lacking or we will need to work on is visibility of women in tech. Let there be more women that are out there telling people, showing people that this can be done. You can do this. It's not just a man's thing. It's not a guy thing. You can do it. We are doing it. We are winning. And so you can also do it. So that's it about my journey.
Wow. Okay. And you're still in the field, and you've been enjoying it since then. So
Yes. Yeah.
yeah.
It hasn't been easy. I won't lie and tell anyone that it's easy. It's something that you need to keep learning. You have to be on your toes. Whatever it is that you've chosen to do, whatever part of tech you've chosen to go for, you need to keep learning, keep collaborating with others.
That's you
just
being an agile leader there.
exactly.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, let's hear from
Thank you.
Ubina. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for your contribution. Ubina, okay, let's hear your story, okay? How did you get into tech and your journey so far?
uh, uh, if I should start narrating the whole story, I think I won't live today. But let me try as much as possible to brief everything. So I'm someone that has tasted. Will I say I've tasted a lot of wine? It all started from secondary school, right? We all had that. When we are kids, we have that desire to, because of the uh, those high career like doctors and lawyers. So normally we tend to navigate to that path. We'll be like, I want to be a doctor. But to me, it has been from childhood, right? I found interest in in technology in general. That should be around as of 2008, 7, where the internet is not that of
What
a
is
big
it
thing.
you may need to know?
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So the interest started right from childhood, right? From having interest in a phone, how it operates. Then we had the browser and all that. But then moving into university, I got the opportunity to try my hands on a lot of stuff. I started off as a software engineer, front end to be precise, before I moved into back end engineering, from back end engineering, data science, and then now currently I'm more of advocate, right, than an engineer. So it has been quite a journey. For me, it's just that passion and love for tech in general, not just software engineering or back-end engineering or data science. It has just been the curiosity in me, right? Right from time when we had a WAP down, I would be like, how does this work? How is it possible that I'm able to browse, download stuff online and all that? So it has been that curiosity. That curiosity was what drove me into building a career around technology.
Okay. Rina, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Okay, that has been a long journey, and I know that's been a long time. Thank you for that story. Okay, and your passion. If there's anything I heard about your passion and your curiosity and all that keeps driving you and pushing you, making you want to know more and go forward and keep pushing in this particular field. Thank you so much for that. Okay. And the next question I will be asking Akhilesh. I don't know if that's the pronunciation, but Akhilesh Sharma, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. Are you here with us? Hello? Akhilesh.
Um,
Okay.
are
Okay.
you
I
able
have.
to hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. I have a
Um,
question.
yes, please.
Okay. What you believe women should know or see to consider technology as a career option?
Okay. So, first of all, thank you so much for the question. My answer to anybody who is seeking to get into tech, not just women or males as such, please understand. I mean, technology word is not just about coding or programming. It could be business-facing roles, client-facing roles. So everyone can have the equal opportunities to get into tech. It's more about how you connect with right people who are in that industry within which you are trying to get into. Speak to them, seek their coaching, mentoring, channelize your existing set of skills, and inculcate the new skills which requires for you to get into that industry. That will actually help you in terms of I mean, understanding and getting into the journey part very easy and convenient. So all I would say, believe in yourself. That's the strongest part. I mean, you all possess.
Thank you. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself first before you get to meet the people in the industry you're trying, especially tech. If you're trying to move into tech and get to know what you should know, just meet the right people, and I'm sure you'll be good to go from there. Thank you so much. That's from Achilles Shama. Thank you. Okay, Omami, what would you advise? I will just contribute to what Achilles has said already. Mommy, you're still on this call, right? Umi?
Hi, Cynthia. Sorry about that. Can you please come again?
Okay, the question is, what do you believe or what do you think young women need to know or see or hear to consider, tech as a career option? What do you think? What do you think we should know to consider tech as a career option?
So, what do I think women should see before they consider
Yeah,
tech?
or do, yes. What do you think? Like, if you're trying to consider tech as a career option, what do you think they should do or they should know?
I want to say that venturing into a career path has to stem from intent, sincere intent, and maybe passion for the field. So, I think that no amount of information that I see out there about entrepreneurship or about um, mechanical engineering or manufacturing can talk me into being a part of food or wealth.
Right.
Do I really want to be in tech? Am I in it for the money? Am I in it for the fun and what's around it? I don't think that they have to question themselves. They have to think, self-introspect and ask, do I want to be in tech? What are the opportunities there for me? Is it a place that I will thrive? Is it aligned with my skills? Am I really interested about this thing? When it going gets tough, will I still want to be in it? So, to be honest, it's not about how much they see. It's a question of what they want to do with their lives, right? But we as tech makers, it's important, right? As women in tech, it's important that we also put the information out there, right, about the opportunities in tech, right? The what people stand to gain in tech, and then just maybe, the reason why many people might not have ventured into tech because they've not really seen there is something like it. But the onus is on us to just put it out there, let people know that tech is really innovating things, making things easier, making processes seamless, and then whoever or whatever or whoever comes across those messages or those opportunities might now begin to think, that maybe that the path is then.
Did we lose Rumi? Hello? I can't hear you.
Yes, I think that's it. It's trying to know that many people think that tech is mathematics, but tech is not mathematics. It's just bringing up innovative solutions that just make process seamless. Especially on applications. It's it's bringing up process. It just makes businesses work faster. that make people's lives easier. That's what tech is about. So when people think tech, they should think about vision. They should think about seamless processes. It's not just apps and websites. So that is the honor of us to make sure that we put out such information out there so people really understand what it is to be technical changer. That's it, Cynthia. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Mommy. That was wonderful. Okay, thank you for that contribution. Okay, Rina, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, sure. We all have said it right, but to me, normally, many people now tend to join tech with the wrong intention, right? Before, once someone comes to me for mentorship or for teaching, for guidance on how to move into tech, the first question I ask, either be data science, software engineer, or anything, the first question I normally ask that person is, why do you want to learn data science? Why do you want to learn data science? Why? And you hear a lot of different responses. You hear some people say, I heard there is a high pay, I heard is a sales job on the internet now, I had this, I had that. But then you need to like have that self-conviction, right? Why do you want to learn it? Because now normally you need to like everybody, if you want to venture into anything, you need to prepare for the worst, then prepare for what the better days, right? Like is not many people, because their high focus is on the money part. They think that once they probably start learning HTML today, next week they will learn CSS, upper week JavaScript, and before you know it, they start making money. It's not always like that. Even if we have people that have learned these technologies and they are very proficient and perfect in it, but for 2 years, 3 years now, they don't have a well-paying job, right? But then they have the skill, right? You need to understand that it's not a bed of roses, right? It's not as you think it. So if you have that mindset that you are venturing into tech because of the money, you are venturing into tech because of the trend, you are venturing into tech because of because someone told you that is lucrative. No, you need to have that self-conviction that this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because if you have that self-conviction that this is what you do, you'll be able to justify the fact that once you meet or jam any difficulty, challenges, because of that self-conviction, you'll be able
You
to
keep pushing. Yes, yes.
you understand? But then if you don't have that self-conviction, once you meet any challenge, you'll be like, oh, I've been learning this thing for 4 months now, getting to a year, nothing, no work, no remote job, no contract. You just give up. You understand? You give up. You move into another thing. You still end up the same way. You move into another. You still end up the same way. Let me use myself as a typical example, right? Let me say I started tech professionally, right? Professionally, 2017. But 2017, 2018, 2019, and as of early 2020, that I can tell you that I was still struggling, finding it very difficult. Then the little money I will see, I will use it instead of eating, right? I will starve, but I will make sure that I have data. Because I have that self-conviction that this is what I want to do. Even if sometimes I will just look at myself, I'll be like, Mina, if it is not text, what are you good at? I'll tell myself it's nothing. This is what I want to do. Even if it takes me 10 years to scale in it, even if it takes me 10 years to succeed in it, is what I want to do, right? That self-conviction will give you the motivation, the courage to keep pushing, even when things are very hard. It was earlier, late 220 that I said, seeing success in tech, things started opening. And some people, when they look at my life now today, they will be like, I want to be like this guy. But you will know that there have been days of humble beginning, days of suffering, days of challenges. So if you want to move into tech, even any career in general, you need to first of all have that self conviction that this is actually what you want to do, not just because it's high paying, it's trending, is this, is that.
Thank you, Vina, for that wonderful contribution. Yeah, you really killed it. Like seriously, you have to. It has to come from within. You have to decide that this is what I want to do. So no matter the challenge you face along the way, along your career path, whatever you're doing, and you start facing that challenge, you still put up with it. You still keep pushing till you get through it. You won't just quit. If it's something that maybe you didn't have the motivation or anything to go into, you just wanted to go into and try out. Okay, this is what they said about this field. Let me just venture into it and try it out. Just a little challenge, you see yourself falling apart and maybe back out and you start settling for something else. But if it's something that comes from within, just like Rina, Shama, and Umi had said, you would succeed in it. So being in tech, you need passion. You need to have passion for what you're doing. That that was a wonderful session. And we will continue with this question and answer session after our second speaker. So I'll be welcoming Mr. Akhilesh. He's our second speaker and he'll be talking to us on the topic, the future of work. Okay. So welcome you, Mr. Akhilesh. Thank you so much for joining us.
First of all, thank you so much to the WTM Owerri for the opportunity. And before I get started, I just want to do a quick screen share and let me see my screen. Um, is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So, first and foremost, very warm welcome. Good afternoon to everyone from Africa and Nigeria. My name is Akhilesh. I'm an experienced technology professional. I come from a background into Salesforce. It's a cloud computing platform. So I'm going to talk about the future of work in pandemic, like how it has actually changed the way we used to work in the traditional world. And Salesforce has the potential wherein you can work from anywhere, irrespective of whichever the location you are within as such the country. So with that being said, I'm going to start with my session. So first and foremost, once again, thanks to WTM Owerri for the opportunity for me to be a speaker today. So quick announcement before I go ahead and start my session. Any of the features, any of the product features which I'll be talking today are completely on the basis of the latest, enhancements available. I would strongly request everyone to please go out, check the company website and look out for the latest available features before making any of your purchasing decisions. With that being said, my name is Akhilesh. I'm an electrical engineer turned IT professional, specifically into Salesforce as a specialization. I'm an MBA graduate located in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm also a global ambassador for my cohort. I'm a creator of two truly global communities, which are about helping people to get into tech. One of them is SheForce Bit, another one being HeartForce Global. I've been featured by the tech company as a champion trailblazer. I have been coaching and mentoring people. I've mentored almost 1,000 plus mentees in past 12 months and created many mentorship success stories. And over to the right, you could see one of the snippets of it. With that being said, in today's point of time, we commonly talk about cloud, right? You might have seen in the past couple of years, things have very much changed in terms of how we store the information. We can access the information, we can store the information at the click of a button. So cloud has, very much revolutionized in the manner like how we work. In today's point of time, cloud computing services are very high in demand, and post-pandemic, or I would say post-COVID, those occupations in that particular category has seen a significant increase of up to 14.7%, which is going to be a surge up till the next decade. With that being said, for anyone who is from a non-tech background, would ask me what is cloud or what are the different, tiers to that. So there are three different tiers. One is PaaS, which is platform as a service. So it could be any platform which we use as a platform. And then SaaS, which is software as a service. It's nothing but a software application. So it could be CRM Dynamics from Microsoft, it could be SAP, or it could be Salesforce.com. And then in order to create this, we need some infrastructure as well, because without infrastructure, we cannot do anything as such, because that actually provides us all the performance capabilities and efficiency. So we have lots of infrastructures available in today's point of time. If you are trying to think to build a product or an application, it could be Azure from Microsoft, or it could be AWS, which is Amazon Web Services from Amazon. Now let's just try to understand first and foremost, like how we reached to the stage where we are, which is Cloud 3.0. There was a point of time when internet was invented, which was Cloud 1.0. um, it was in the world wherein we saw the, I mean, creation of Amazon, Google, and other tech companies, and then we ended up being into Cloud 2.0, which is the world of being social, and platforms such as Facebook, High Five, and other platforms came in. Uh, and then in today's point of time, you might have come across that with the surge in, I mean, technology demand, uh, whether be it Zoom, whether be it Slack, these are platforms through which we can conduct these meetings, or maybe Google Meet, right? Doesn't matter whether you are in Nigeria or anywhere part of the globe, but with the power of technology, you can connect all around the people with the globe. So that is the power it possesses, and this is how we are seeing a revolution or a disruption in today's point of time. Uh, I think there seems to be some sound related issues, so I might not be able to play around the video which I had. But I just want to make everyone understand that Salesforce is a I mean industry which is a cloud computing focused. It's a need of any basic entity and organization. It's an application wherein you can manage the day-to-day operations or functioning of an organization, whether it's a small scale or a large scale organization. Talking about the industry trends of Salesforce, it is going to generate 4.2 million jobs in the next 3 years. And 97 of the top 100 Fortune brands are today using Salesforce to manage and leverage their operations. On an average, since I come from the US, on an average, uh, people with these skills in Salesforce get, almost approximately about 70,000 US dollars as a starter salary. Two of the top 10 best jobs in the tech space are Salesforce specific, and it is the number one tech skill which is paying more than whopping 200,000 US dollars here in the US. And a lot of people ask me like how these jobs are getting created, what manner, it is going to be the creation of jobs. So all I just want to assure is like customers and the Salesforce implementation partners, it's a very big ecosystem. They both are trying to create millions of jobs worldwide, globally, all around the world. And then Salesforce as a product-based company, it's ranked number 137 on the list of Fortune 100, Fortune 500 brands. And as I said, there are people like me who are trailblazers, who are helping out spread the word of Salesforce, and help people to level up their journey into tech. Just like I got into this particular ecosystem as well. So let's just try to get into a brief history of Salesforce. It was founded in the year 1999 by one of the Oracle executives. It went public in the year 2004, and then in the year 2000,
Please turn off your mics.
in the year 2000, they launched their own CRM platform, which is nowadays we might see it's a CRM solution. And then in the year 2014, they launched Trailhead, which is a platform or a fun way of learning Salesforce. And nowadays, I hope most of you have heard about companies such as Tableau, Slack. These are now a part of Salesforce family. So Salesforce recently acquired Slack, which is a conversational messaging application, in the year 2020. Uh, this has been some of the growth history as such, which I talk about of Salesforce in the past couple of years. As we could see, the information has been provided by IDC, which is one of the global rating agency of various tech companies that they do the survey. So whether be it Adobe, Microsoft, SOP, Oracle, or Salesforce, I hope you could see the numbers and the yearly projections. So, the business is growing, the jobs are getting created. And like as I was mentioning, I mean, the jobs are getting created globally all across. So there are different metrics which has been mentioned by IDC, which is a global rating agency, and it is going to generate 1.2 trillion business revenue by creation of these jobs in the next couple of years. So all I could say, the jobs are plenty, and in the developing countries like Africa, there is a huge potential because people look for upskilling options and guidance. So which is where I think the strong platform is. Again, with that being said, I think there seems to be some sound issue for today, I guess, on the platform specific. I mean, it has got a platform or a community, just like we have WTM Owerri, wherein you can be part of a community or a local user group, wherein you can get more awareness, more clarity about the rules and the industry prospects. So please be a part of a community wherein you can find, local community group. Uh, and then let's just try to understand how this community is just making an impact. So there are 11 million trailblazers all around the globe, just like me, who are trying to spread the word of Salesforce. There are 1,300 plus community groups all around the globe with a presence into 90 plus countries globally. um, a lot of people might ask me, as such, like, if you being from a non-tech background, what are the kind of roles you can get into? So I just want to mention that you don't need to be a coder or a developer, as I was mentioning in my conversation, to be into tech. You can be into roles such as administrator, a product consultant, or a business analyst. You could also get into marketing and sales roles if you're from a marketing and sales background. There are different set of skills which are required, but I would say you actually need to see where your aspiration lies. Is it more towards the technical side of it? So that could be the route one can take forward. Or if you see more towards the functional or the business facing side roles, I mean, these are the kind of roles which you can, look forward to. With that being said, now I would just want to address the how part of how you can learn. So there are various gateways which are available. As I was mentioning, Trailhead, it's a platform of gamification. You can earn badges, you can do projects. Apart from that, there is a platform called Focus on Force. It's a platform from a guy called Martin Gessner, which is looked by a lot of beginners in the Salesforce. Plus, the best part is you can get the Salesforce environment for free. You can just sign it up, get your hands dirty with the product, and start learning at your own pace. And then there is a very popular channel called Apex Hours, which I would strongly recommend to anyone who's seeking to get into tech. Try to just give it a exploration, and it is called Apex Hours. You can search on YouTube as such as well to get more information. Now, a lot of people ask in context to how can I get into that ecosystem. So, Salesforce has got a very strong ecosystem in terms of mentorship as well, wherein it brings the mentees and the mentors all together on a single platform. So there are various channels where one can be part of. One such is Trailblazer Mentorship Program, another one being Mentorship Central, and there is one which is called Talent Stacker. What I'll do is I'll share all these links in the chat section once I complete my presentation. But from a newbie perspective is what I'm just trying to information. And with that being said, in context to this, I, as a trailblazer, been doing a lot of community building. So I have these two community forces. One of them, it's called She Force Build, which is more about empowering women to level up their journey into tech. And then Heart Force Global, which is around students as a targeted audience. So I look forward to, in case if anyone is interested. In case if anyone is interested in connecting with me, please utilize these QR codes. You can connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter. This is something which you can utilize. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I hope you have enjoyed my presentation, and over to you for the next piece of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Shama. Akhilesh, thank you. That was a wonderful presentation. And so if you have questions about this, about his presentation, or even about agile leadership, you can go ahead to ask your questions, okay? We'll be taking questions now so you get a clear understanding of what their sessions were about, okay? Any question at all? let me use this opportunity to recognize the presence of the GDG lead for Owerri community, Gospel Chinyarugo. If you're here, you can just say hello, maybe say one or two things to us. He is the GDG lead for Owerri community, the Goggles Developers Group, right? Mr. Gospel, are you here? Okay.
Hello.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you. Good afternoon and welcome.
All right, thank you, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. It's really a pleasure to have been here. And then, well, I kind of couldn't, would I say, couldn't really take part in the communication or in the conversations going on earlier because of my schedule. And then I'm kind of in a noisy place. I had to shift a bit. So, well, I would say I'm really impressed by the whole conversation, the topic, and all the things going on in the chat section. Like, I feel this is like what we really need this period, right? To really uh, have a good number of women who have been kind of thinking around ways to join the tech community, but then have either been maybe feeling like they're not good enough, or maybe feeling like the space is mostly for the guys and all that stuff. Well, I think we've kind of made a great deal of points here today, and then yeah, it's really an honor to be amongst you. Uh, thank you for the whole conversations and all. Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Gospel Chinyarugo. Yeah, thank you for joining in here today. Okay, if you have questions for Mr. Achilles that just concluded the presentation, you can go ahead to ask him, or you can just connect with him. He just dropped his LinkedIn link to his LinkedIn profile, so you can just go there and connect with him, and maybe you can continue your conversation from there. Okay, so Salesforce is a cloud-based software that helps organizations to effectively streamline their sales and marketing operation. So that is in case you didn't get the whole gist that he was saying then, okay? So just connect with him, please, and ask questions if you have any. So we would continue. Okay, I have one last question for my panelists, okay? And then we will conclude, okay? So over to Joy. Joy, I'll be asking you this question, okay?
Are you serious?
So what's your biggest challenge so far in your career as a tech woman? So what's your challenge? What's the biggest challenge you faced so far?
Oh, I was not really expecting it, but good everyone. Um, okay. So far, like she said, Owen said, tech is actually a bed of roses. We have been facing one or two things. If it's not, probably we had to learn some certain things. Is how to get a job role, a work or a job role, in an organization. And I know one of the things we the women faces into getting job is Cynthia, I can hear you. So
I wasn't saying anything. You can go on.
okay. So one of the issues I know we are facing in the tech, like some of the reporters, one being sexually harassed before you can get a job. With one post I saw online, a guy kind of harassing ladies to learn some to teach them some careers in tech. So these are actually one of the things I think we ladies face to acquire a skill, not only in tech. So one of the challenges me personally I've been facing is being heard in an organization. Most times, you will do something, you provide a solution to a work, and the male folks would like to take the glory without involving you who actually did it. So that's one of the things I face and I kind of faced before now, before I joined the new organization and with Decagon. So and I know most of us also have been facing that issue so far. And that's why we have this community to make our voice being heard in the society and kind of being involved in what the system entails. Because you can also bear with me that most organizations find it difficult to raise the salary or compensate the female folks within them. Maybe there's a job role that requires a payment for like standard payment of, let's just say one M. But due to you're a female, they will be like, okay, we'll pay you 400K for this particular job. And this is actually a stereotype that is not kind of acceptable. And we, the organization, are trying to, and we try as much as possible to reach that barrier to ensure that there's equality and equity in the ecosystem. So if they enhance that equity and equality in the ecosystem, I think the world will be a better place, because they say train a lady in tech and you train the whole universe. So that is what I have to say in that aspect. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Okay, I like that closing part. Train a woman in tech and you train the whole world. Okay, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Joy, for your contribution. Okay, I would be asking Adenike. Adenike, you're still here with us, right? The same question. Hello, Adenike.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So
So what did you ask?
Uh, what's your biggest challenge so far in your career in tech? Yeah, your tech career.
I didn't get that. Sorry,
What's your
I didn't get that.
biggest
Can you again?
challenge? What is your biggest challenge so far in your career as a tech woman?
Okay, my biggest challenge, if I'm being honest, is having to deal with imposter syndrome.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that uh, I'm actively trying to fight, and like I read a lot about it, read all about other people's experiences with it, and I read about a developer. He's a senior engineer.
Okay.
He's very good. He has a lot of experience, and he still deals with it. So I realized that it happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
It's something that you have to anticipate and take care of. You don't just wait for it to come and then you deal with it. You know that okay, this might come. So before it comes, what am I going to do? What things have I put in place to deal with this if it comes?
We've talked about this imposter syndrome
Yeah.
on
Yes.
this meeting, right? And I'm sure you got something, you got a lot from it.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of information and tips on how to handle that. Okay.
Yeah. And also, I think there was something that I wanted to chip in.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's about having receipts for your work. Receipts that if you want to fight imposter syndrome, first off, you should do the work. You should actively. You can't just sit down and not do the work and then try to fight it. You should do the work, and then when you do the work, keep records of your wins, even if it's smallest one. Keep it somewhere, write it down, so that whenever it comes up, you have something to fall back on and say, "Yes, I did this. I have evidence that I've done this before, and I can do it again." You have something to motivate yourself with, like your receipt, so that you can always go back to them.
Yeah, you have your work, and you have your GitHub account where you upload you put out all your work, so you don't lose track of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Nice. So gospel Chinyarugo, Are you still with us on this call? Gospel. Okay, what about Winner? Winner, you're still with us? Okay, Gospel is here. Yeah, so what's your biggest challenge so far in your career?
Are you asking me or gospel?
I'm asking Gospel now. He wasn't there when I was calling his name, so he just came up.
Yeah,
Came.
yeah. So like I said earlier, I'm actually kind of doing some stuff. So it's Saturday now. So
Okay.
but yeah, basically the one of the biggest challenge I had was imposter syndrome is kind of one of the biggest challenge, right?
Okay.
So yeah, that's like something you can actually do, or you can even at least even if you can't do it, you could actually kind of try to do it, but then just feeling that feeling of like you are not going to be able to do it. You are going to mess up if you kind of try to engage in that activity or something like that. So, for example, a task given to you, and then you just feel like, well, this is kind of a big task. You are just new into tech, and you are being given this kind of task. So that's actually one of
Yeah.
like I believe it's kind of a major or common issue. Then also another thing that matters a lot. Like I know I faced a challenge kind of at first was matrix. Matrix, and I want to mention that because it's actually a very important part of the game or the space. Matrix in the sense of keeping track record of right your progress. So what you've done in the past, you understand? So because those help go a long way to kind of convince firms that you will be able to take up a bigger challenge if given one. So it matters a lot. Being able to keep track of what you've done before, what you are able to do, and all those stuff. So at first, I wasn't able to, like keep record or like in my mind, I'm just like I can actually do this. I've done it before, so I'm sure I can do it, right? But someone out there may not really be so convinced enough when you tell them you can do this, right? But when they see stuff that you've done, when they see those pet projects that you actually try to deploy and put out there, even if it's a designer and then you've been able to maybe create some maybe accounts and been able to like put out some designs out there that people can actually look at and see, So it goes a long way to make make things easier for you. You don't really need to do the convincing. Your work does that. So those are the two key challenges I face. Yeah.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. And Rina, now we can have your own contribution. Okay.
Okay, yeah, thank you. For me,
Tell us, wait, you have to tell us the challenge you faced and how you are dealing with it. Yeah.
for me, it's a continuous challenge, right? Because we are in an
Okay.
open industry. The tech industry is one of those one of the industry that keeps evolving. Things keep changing, new things keep coming up. So you have to stay relevant, and for you to stay relevant, you have to keep learning. So for me, the biggest challenge has been keeping up with learning, right? You wake up one day, you find out that you're stuck. There have been dependency updates. You need to go back to reading documentation. You need to look at these updates. You need to start updating your code base. You need to do this. You need to do that. And currently, I'm in a role that like overlaps with three other fields like sales, tech, and stakeholders. Right. Currently, I need to learn a lot about stakeholder management. I need to learn a lot about sales. I need to learn a lot about the technology itself. So it has been keeping up with learning. Right. That has been one of my biggest challenge so far in my career. And how I've been able to beat that is I do, you sometimes you need to like give yourself the credit that you are really trying, right? So most times what I do is if I'm like in that situation or where I find myself needing to like study a lot, learn a lot because of new updates or based on job requirements, I will just encourage myself, still relying back on the fact that this is what I want to do. That still gives me the push to like, yeah, this is what you are called out for. This is what you are good at. This is what you want to do with your life. So, come bring consumption, you need to still do it. So that gives me that comfort to like relax and just plan my learning. So normally what I do is either I depending on how much I want to learn, I could uh, push that to weekends or push that to maybe late in the night after work or something. But just I try to make sure that I find at least 2 hours or 4 hours per week for learning, or 2 hours or 1 hour every day for learning, depending on how I want to structure it and what I want to learn. So currently now, what I'm doing is 2 hours every day for learning because I need to quite learn a lot because of the role I'm currently doing.
Thank you. Okay, thank you, Rina. That was wonderful. Okay, so I want to take a question from the comment section because I saw that when you were talking, and someone was asking a question about money. Gospel, I think you answered that question.
I think it was him that was asking the question. Now, the thing is just that, right? I saw the question that says,
He was like, I have it. Okay, he was like, he has a question. Is it bad? Is it a bad thing to have tech money as a motivation to join tech? Okay, please, someone should answer this question.
yeah. Yes, we know that at the end of it all, we need the end goal is money, right? But for you to be able to have that money, that you should have a drive that is more than that money. The money drive shouldn't be more than the passion drive or the intent drive, right? Because if the money drive is higher, once that money you are not seeing it and you are pushing effort, sometimes you'll be spending, as I said earlier, most times that I do minor jobs just to make sure that I get money for data purchase, right? I go for bricklaying jobs and all those minor jobs. I go for event decoration stuff. I follow all these event decors to go for event decoration stuff, just to make sure that I get money to be able to do what, buy data. I'm not even after feeding or eating, right? I'm only after getting the data. So if I had that, if the money drive was more than the passion and the intent, right? During those days, I would just be like, why am I even doing this, right? Since money is not coming and the event planning stuff that I've been doing is giving me money, I'll just focus on it, right? Because I'm money driven. But if you are not money, if the money drive, yeah, you should have money at the back of your mind because at the end of it, you should be able to take care of yourself, live comfortably and all that. But what I'm trying to say that don't let the money drive be more than the passion and the intent.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, some people are really talking in the comment section. So any other contribution to that? Because I know this has been a lot of issue lately, especially when they're talking about tech. People are talking about moving into tech, and the first thing they want to talk about is, okay, there's money in tech. Oh, this is why I want to go in tech. Like money is innovation. Please, I want people to answer this question, please. Okay, Joy, anything to say to us about this part? Yeah, I know that we need passion. Okay, what if money is passion? Like, please answer this question.
Actually, This is actually very fun. Like my friend Andy will be like, you can learn a skill actually you want to learn. Hence there's money involved. But although there is passion there, okay. And I quote, he will say, his passion is in the money and the money is in the skill. So all the money they will learn. So actually, first of all, for me, there is passion because I've not really started getting what I really want financially in tech, but the passion keep driving me into doing more and more because I know once I get to a certain level, the firm and everything will come in play. Like Shah said, just focus on getting the knowledge and everything. Afterwards, the fame and the money and everything will just come in place. So I think
Follow.
passion actually drives, should actually be your driving force because initially there won't be the money. You'll be the one spending, you'll be the one staying. I can remember initially when I used to go to Bet Niger. Yeah, we used to go to Bet Niger. I and Cynthia just to work. Actually, we could stay in Bet Niger all the night, like all day. Night we'll come back. That's the passion I was driving because there was no money there. We are not seeing any money, but the passion will take us to Bet Niger to do the work and come back. So that is actually passion is of a great essence. Afterwards, the money will follow. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Joy. It just reminded me a lot of things we did back then. Okay, please, Amaobi, Omi, do you have any contribution to this? I know you're there. Umi? How about Oma? Oma, are you still present in school?
Yeah, Oma's network cut off, so she's trying to, and her
Okay,
gadget is kind
she's
of
not
done.
been able to.
Yeah, she's trying to get it
Yeah,
there.
network issues. Okay. What of Adenike? Do you have any contribution? Because most people, all they want is money. Oh, that's the main thing. Anybody you ask these days, what they just say, there's money. Oh, there's money. So we need to clear up this space. So tell us what you think. I have a friend and all she talks about is the money. Okay, I'm in tech because there's money. So tell me, please.
I don't think Adenike is in the call.
Okay, what about
I think someone wants to contribute in the chat. There's someone that says
Okay, please. Yes, you can contribute.
Okay, Adenike is back. Adenike is back.
Okay. Bisiolu. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, good afternoon. Yeah, we are happy to have you.
Thank you for the session so far. I think what the problem most people have, because I've had it before, is that I have bills to pay. I no longer stay with my parents. I'm coming from, though I'm a computer engineer. That's what I studied in school. But
Okay.
coming into tech was not too difficult for me because of the background. But I still have to, you get, and I have younger ones, people on my neck to collect money. And if I have to learn in tech, I need time. I need to sit, I need to get the concept. So it was a battle. It's not that I want money, wide money. I need to survive. So how I balanced it was that I got the job I can get at that point in time, and I stretched myself. Sometimes I land in the hospital. I'm not advising anybody to do that, but I look at this is what I want. So how do I? It's about just get something that will be doing the money while you get on the tech. And when you now get to the place you want to get to in tech, you can now pull out and fully go there. It is not easy. Oh, it is not easy. I'll not lie. Like it is not easy. Sometimes I want to give up. I'm like, this is what I want to use my life for. So let's get it.
Okay, Bisiolu, that was wonderful. Like she was giving us a practical answer, like how to deal with this particular issue. Okay, well, you have an issue, you have bills to pay. Yeah, we all have bills to pay. But right now you need a job that gives you that money, but then you still want to go into tech. okay, maybe tech is the job, or there's no money coming from tech at the moment. Okay, so I get something to do on the side while I'm still following my passion. That still means you have passion for tech, because if you don't have passion for tech, with the stress and all that, you won't be able to manage the two together. So that still boils down to you need to have passion for it. It needs to come from within and say, okay, this is what I want to do. Like, you cannot see your life or see your career path without seeing tech. That should be your number one thing before you venture into tech. I mean, yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, Isolo, for that contribution. Okay, and does anybody want to contribute to this before we round up?
Hi everyone.
Yeah, hi, Jenica.
Yeah, no, we're talking about money being motivation and whatnot, passion. But I would also like to point out that if you want to get into tech and you're looking for money and you don't want to, there are also non-technical roles in tech companies. So you can actually look for how you can align yourself to getting the non-technical roles and also be in tech and get the tech money. So you can also figure out what your strengths are and then work on those strengths, improve them, then go for the roles that are not non-technical and also still be in tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Just to add to that, I think I'm a living testimony of that, or a typical example of that. I've gotten the opportunity to, for example, I intend with Microsoft as customer success account manager, which is not that technical, but you have to have the technical knowledge. Basically, every software engineering company, you need to have a bit of technical knowledge before before they will even consider you for any employment, be it technical or non-technical. And currently working with them now as a solution area specialist for this one, app innovation, which is also like technical, non-technical. There are a lot of them. We have account executives, we have customer engineers, we have account technology strategists. We have quite a lot of them. I think maybe if the community is hosting any other event, I could definitely prepare something to regarding this and maybe speak to us around it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rina. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Solomon, you have something to say?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, Solomon. We're happy to have you here.
To commend the organizer of this program. So you have done a great job. So kudos to you guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
there's one thing I just want to say about the tech stuff. Actually, money may be part of it sometimes. Like me personally, I got into tech through challenges. Let me put it that. Because that time, some years back, I was working with Nokia. So I was application support and hardware engineer with Nokia in Lagos here. But along the line, I discovered that how will I be repairing, Nokia devices, apply software, and I won't understand how the Android itself works. So through that curiosity, I said, let me learn how to develop, Android application. That's why I got a scholarship from Google, all these Android developer. So that's how I started. So not really because of the money, but because of interest and the passion that I want to learn this thing. So I know that this thing can really help me in my place of work. So when I left Nokia along the line, I joined telecom company. But one of my friends now got admission to US. So in that school, there's one lab, military lab. They deal with American military big data. They have in that particular institution. The guy now told me that if I want to come to that school, I need to learn about big data so that I can get a GA. They will give me automatic GA. I said, really? So that's why I started again. That let me go and learn big data so that if I get admission for the master, maybe I'll be able to be part of the team on that thing. I think that things I started with big data, and now I become a data engineer. So what I'm saying is this: sometimes it may not be money, but most times money, but passion drives and your interests and challenges. Some people they want to learn something stuff. That okay, I want to learn about this thing. I have interest in this. So I think that is my case. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Solomon, for that wonderful contribution. Thank you all for your wonderful, everybody that has said something here. You guys you're brilliant and you're speaking from experience, and I really appreciate the time and effort you put into crafting your answers and coming out to give us what you have from your bank of knowledge. Thank you so much, Mina. I would call on Joy right now to round up and give us her closing remarks.
Okay. Thank you, Cynthia, for the option session. Like I really appreciate. And thanks to everyone that participated. Like I'm really grateful. I don't know how to start thanking us. And so my awesome speakers, Rumi, Sharma, we are we are really grateful. The WTM Owerri is grateful and thankful for your presence today. And to our awesome panelists, we have Winner, we have Adenike. Oh, Adenike is actually my mentor, like my instructor actually. So we have Adenike, we have Oma, although we lost her at a point due to our network. We have Olivia, we have Nonso, and am I missing anyone? And Andy is unavoidable absent due to something came up, so he couldn't join. So he also sent his regards. So thank you everyone for joining this session. For being here today. I'm really grateful. I say thank you. I'm hopefully to see us on the top, like at the top. Thank you and have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Joy. Thank you for those that did the flyers, designs, and all that, putting up this meeting together, the running around, publicity, Joy, and